The internet said that this wouldn't work. But oh yeah, it did work. Look at those roots. But there is a difference between getting something to root and getting it to thrive in soil. So can I take these teeny tiny cuttings with amazing roots and make them into beautiful nursery quality saleable plants? I think I can. Let's find out. Come on. I've rooted hardy hibiscus cuttings in water before, so I knew it was possible, but these were teeny tiny tip cuttings that I took from seedlings that I was cutting back, and I can't believe how well they did. So in my tray here, I have pre-moistened Sunshine Grow Mix from Lowe's. I'm using these square pots, which I washed out earlier today and I let them dry in the sun. The roots of cuttings rooted in water are different from the roots of cuttings rooted in soil. They're softer and they tend to be weaker, even though these actually look pretty amazing. The hardest part is transitioning them to life in soil. So I am going to plant this in my pre-moistened mix here. And in order to give it the best chance to thrive, it's going to live here in my hoop house where there's increased humidity. That increased humidity is really going to help them transition from life in water to life in soil. I can't believe how much these grew from the little tiny cuttings that I took. These are just the tips of the seedlings that I grew from seed over the winter. And when I up potted them into their 1-gallon pots, they needed pinching back. So I just took the very tip and I thought, let me stick it in water and just see what happens. And I had looked it up on the internet in advance and it said that they won't root, they would be too small and they would be too weak. And yet I had these really amazing root systems on all of these cuttings. Now, not all of them made it. I did have 2 that died about a week after I put them into the water. And I also have this cutting, which has not yet rooted. And you can see that it has tons of callousing, which means that there's a good chance it will root. And it has a lot of top growth, but so far, no luck on an actual root system. So I'm going to put this back in the water and hope that I still get it to root. Now, this could be a game changer for me in my backyard business and maybe even for you if you're a home gardener, because if you were to grow hardy hibiscus from seed and then pinch each one back and put the tip into water, even if you only got like a 70 or 80% success rate, you would almost double the amount of plants that you had in just a short time. Now, because these roots are soft and vulnerable, we're not going to do any fertilizing today, which really kills me because they've had no nutrition since they've been growing in my container of water. But the roots are really sensitive and any kind of fertilizer right now could burn them. So I'm going to wait a few days and give them some time to adjust. And then I'm going to come back and I'll show you how to do that. Only other thing that these need today is some water. I'm also going to keep these in a tray and I'm going to fill the bottom of the tray with water so that they stay evenly moist. No direct sunlight for these for the next few days, just so that they can acclimate without becoming stressed. They'll stay here in a shady spot in my hoop house. So it's been 4 days since I up potted these water-rooted hardy hibiscus, and they are already starting to put on new growth. So now's the time for me to hit these with a little bit of nutrition. So today I'm using Grow Big from Fox Farms. I'm going to use this at quarter strength. These roots are still getting used to their soil. They're still strengthening, and too much fertilizer can actually burn them, but they do need some nutrition to really get pumping. Hardy hibiscus don't require a ton of fertilizer, which is really nice because so many plants that have big, gorgeous flowers like hardy hibiscus need a ton of fertilization. These guys actually like things kind of lean. Here we go. And now I have these all in a bottom tray, so this will continue to keep them moist and allow those roots to further strengthen. And before you know it, they're going to be amazing. All of my little water-rooted seedlings have new growth on them. You can see lots of fresh green leaves, which make me really happy to see. There's some here. The only one that doesn't have any is this one, which is kind of funny because that one had the biggest roots, I think, out of all of them. And now, even though it's a little bit early, I'm going to go ahead and give these their first pinch because I really want them to branch out and get bushy. Now, I could wait a little bit longer until they're bigger, and then I could take those tip cuttings and throw them in some water and root them all over again. And I might still do that once they branch out a bit. I'm just going to come in here and take the very tip off. And that is going to encourage these plants to send out more branches and to strengthen up these stems, some of which you could see this one is very curved and looks a little bit weak. I'm back with an update and these plants look insane. I'm so excited to share them with you. So as you can see, all of my little cuttings made it, and some of them are actually really big and really branchy. This one, for example, has 7 different stems. And then that one that did not have any new growth when we planted it is a little bit smaller than the others, but it is healthy and it has 4 stems. This is going to do fantastic. But how does it stack up against my first year seedling? And while these are amazing, there's a difference. Let's take a look at one of the plants that I took these cuttings from just about 6 weeks ago when I was cutting it back. And you can see that there is a very big difference. This plant is like 4 times the size of these little seedlings, but these are actually catching up really quick, much more quickly than I expected them to. But do you see all these gorgeous buds? This first year seedling is getting ready to bloom. In fact, I expect it to bloom probably in the next week or so. Will I be able to get these cuttings to bloom by the end of the season? I'm not sure. I think it's going to depend quite a bit on the type of fall that we have. I don't expect that these will set buds for at least another 5 or 6 weeks. So if we have a warm fall, I might be lucky enough to get a flower or 2 off of each one. And then I will house these over the winter and they will come back big and branchy and amazing next year. And how does a first year seedling stack up against a second year plant? Well, you can see the difference. This one is much bigger. It's in a bigger pot. It has a bigger root bulb. This one is also getting ready to bloom. I think that my first year seedling is actually going to bloom just a little bit sooner than my second year. So this is what my cuttings will look like about this time next year. And one more thing. Do you remember how we had that one teeny tiny cutting that hadn't set root yet, but it had some callus and I thought that maybe it would? Well, good news. I left it in its water home. I continued changing the water and boy, oh boy, it finally rooted. So now this one will get potted up just like the rest of my seedlings. And I think that by next year, you won't be able to tell that this one took a little bit longer to root. It'll be just as big and amazing as the rest of my seedlings. So how does this change things for us as gardeners? Well, if you have a favorite hardy hibiscus, and I know you do, then when it comes up in the spring, you can take some teeny tiny tip cuttings and root them in water and create more plants. Now, you probably aren't going to get blooms that first season unless you live in an area that's much warmer than mine, where your hardies come up a lot earlier, but you might just get lucky. And another way that we can use this information to our advantage is if you have a greenhouse or if you have some hardies that are going to remain in pots, you might be able to find a way to take cuttings earlier. So one experiment that I'm going to run is to keep a couple of my favorite hybrids in bigger pots, and I'm going to bring them into my heated Costco greenhouse around the beginning or middle of February when the days start to lengthen and my greenhouse really starts to warm up. I'm going to put the pots on a heat mat and keep them well watered and hope that I can wake them up and do cuttings sooner. Now, once they wake up, I will have to pinch them in order to get them to branch out enough that I'll be able to take cuttings, but I think it's worth a try. So make sure that you're subscribed so you can find out if that works. And if you love giant flowers like Hardy Hibiscus, I did a whole video on how you can build from back to front an amazing blooming garden that's almost no work. So if you haven't seen it, I'll link that at the end. You should watch that next. Thank you so much for spending just a little piece of your day with me today. If you have a favorite Hardy Hibiscus variety, leave it in the comments for me because I am always looking to expand my collection. This year, I'm hoping to find watermelon ruffles and airbrush and plant them out, but so far my local nursery hasn't had any Hardy Hibiscus up for sale. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time when we're up to something in the garden. Have a great day.